And actually, I think that last question was a great reminder to us that this day of our Media Impact Forum is actually the second day of meetings here at the American Philosophical Society for Media Impact Funders. And it's part of a joint initiative that we have support from the Rita Allen Foundation for, of creating a network of funders who care about communicating science and the science of communications. So yesterday, some of you were with us for a deeper dive on science alone, and today we're going to be hearing about science and communicating science and the science of communications. And so this last presentation was really on, obviously, the science of story building, but taking a question about science particularly was a great reminder that this is an area of activity that we see as related and distinct at the same time. And the next presentation is also going to be exploring sort of how we communicate as well. But just to say that for those of you who want to dive deeper on the communicating science piece of it, please be in touch with us during the day and keep an eye out for webinars and things like that coming up in the coming months where we're going to be continuing to nurture this network of activity. So our next speakers showed that viral video could be not just fun, but also a powerful advertising tool. Advertising Age called their first viral video the Extreme Diet Coke and Mentos Experiment. Do you remember the Mentos? The most important commercial content of the year. They've also won four Webby Awards and 2 Emmy nominations, and their internet videos have now been seen over 150 million times. They're the authors of the Viral Video Manifesto from McGraw-Hill and the new Viral Video Toolkit for Nonprofits, which was supported by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. And back on stage, Fritz Grobe and Stephen Voltz from EepyBird's Studios.
Clicker. Here we go.
Good morning. I'm Stephen.
And I'm Fritz. And we are experts at doing stupid things. We've made videos with 250,000 sticky notes. We built a Coke and Mentos powered rocket car, a giant kaleidoscope. We've spent hours coming up with crazy ways to lace your shoes and fun ways to turn school supplies into puppets.
We've made videos for companies like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Office Max, and Disney, and repeatedly they've gone viral.
Now, what's that mean, going viral? Well, viral video is about getting people sharing. It's about getting them fired up enough so that they want to share your video with their friends. And that makes it different from any other form of moving picture ever made. And it can be amazingly effective. Our campaigns for Coca-Cola spiked sales of 2-liter bottles of Diet Coke in the US by 5% twice, and boosted Mentos sales by 15% for 3 years straight.
So for 12 years, our little company, EepyBird's Studios, has been making videos using our method so people will want to share them with their friends, all to help global brands move product. And then our friend Jody Struve, there she is, with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, came to us with a question. Can your techniques be used by nonprofits? Can viral video be used for social good? Well, we just completed a pilot project where we created 2 videos with support from the foundation to explore exactly that question, and the results are really encouraging.
So we made 2 videos for Girl Trek in Washington, D.C., and for NASN, the National Association of School Nurses. And both these organizations have a good presence on Facebook, but generally their messages weren't reaching beyond their core fan base. So could we help them reach beyond that?
So Girl Trek's goal is to get more black women out and walking together in their communities, to build community and for health. And so we look for fun ways to get people excited about lacing up their shoes and getting outside.
So within 24 hours online, 19 dope ways to lace your shoes was Girl Trek's #3 video on Facebook.
NASN's goal, the National Association of School Nurses' goal, is to get people aware, to become aware of the important work that school nurses are doing every day in all of the schools we drive by every morning. And so we captured audio from real interviews with real school nurses and with real kids talking about school nurses, and combined that with some fun puppets made from things you'd find around the school scene.
And Within 24 hours, School Nurses Are My Superheroes was NASA's #1 video on Facebook. Within 8 days, each video had more views than each organization's top 10 Facebook videos combined. And in the first month, NASA's message reached 69,000 people, the equivalent of 6 times their Facebook fan base. And Girl Trek's message reached over 1 million people, the equivalent of more than 4 times their Facebook fan base. So what was really cool to see was not only were people watching, they were sharing with their friends.
So how does this work? How do you design contagious content, content that's planned to be shared from person to person to person? How is it that you get people to share?
And it can seem like you're trying to catch lightning in a bottle, but really, this is not magic. There are clear, consistent patterns for creating contagious content.
Jonah Berger and Catherine Milkman, right here in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania, have looked at what makes content go viral online. In fact, Anne referenced it this morning. If you read quickly one of the quotes that went up there. And one of the things they found is that we share things that get us excited and make us feel good.
So content, videos that make us feel passive and negative emotions, am I still there? Emotions like sadness are generally among the least contagious. And content that makes us feel passive and positive, emotions like contentment, are also not particularly contagious.
Content that generates or stimulates active negative emotions, things that make us angry or afraid, that starts to be contagious. But most contagious of all is content that stimulates active positive emotions, things that amaze us, things that make us laugh. So if you want to get people sharing, you want to give them content that stimulates those kinds of active, positive feelings.
And our experience in the trenches of viral video bear this research out. Getting people sharing is about creating an emotional connection. Don't just think about your message. Think about how you can get people laughing, smiling, going, wow. If you can create content people want to watch and want to share with their friends, that can carry your message to a lot more people. Now, as we did the work that led to our book, The Viral Video Manifesto, we found that to create contagious content, there are 4 core principles that are crucial to understand. First, be true. Don't fake it. Make it real.
Second, don't waste my time. Get down to business right away.
Third, be unforgettable. Show us something we've never seen before.
And fourth, ultimately, it's all about humanity.
So let's dive into these for a little bit. First, rule number 1, be true. Show us real people having real reactions to real events. So what really happens when you send 250,000 Super Balls bouncing down the hills of San Francisco, as Sony Bravo did in their Bouncy Balls video? Or what really happens when you surprise a bunch of drunk girls with puppies, as BuzzFeed did in their video, surprising drunk girls with puppies? This can be shot candid camera style with a lot of audience reactions, the way the Ad Council did in their beautiful video, Love Has No Labels. Or it can be something that you've practiced over and over and finally managed to capture on video, the way we did with the extreme Diet Coke and Mentos experiments. Now, none of these videos faked anything. They all captured the real thing when it really happened.
Now, a few years ago, a video went up on YouTube with the description, "A magical moment happens on Main Street, USA, when a young man proposes to his girlfriend in a Disneyland resort." It was fake. This video has perfect sound, perfect lighting, 3 or 4 cameras. I think there's a crane shot in there. The perfect couple. This is a toothpaste commercial. But at about the same time, another video also went up on YouTube on roughly the same subject matter. This one had nothing faked, and you might even remember it. This was called JK Wedding Entrance Dance.
Now, my background is in the circus, so I've seen a lot of great handstands in my life. This is not one of them. But it's beautiful. And these are not the best dancers, but they're real. And we love them for that. So Disneyland's wedding proposal, with all of Disney's promotional muscle behind it, got about 4 million views out of the gate, which is lovely. But JK Wedding entrance dance, with no promotional efforts, rocketed to over 70 million views. So trust the truth. Don't fake a wedding proposal. Throw out your scripts. Just turn the camera on and get everyone dancing down the aisle.
Our second rule is don't waste my time. Now, a viral video can be 12 seconds long or even 12 minutes long. But either way, our mantra is nothing but the money shots. If you have a baby monkey riding backwards on a pig, show us that immediately. Now, it can be easy to get bogged down and caught in the mud. This is a video we made, we can look at with Disney, and it took us a really long time to get down to business. This is called the Extreme Sticky Note Experiments. We had some really cool things to do with over 250,000 sticky notes. But watch all this stuff that's happening first. The boss comes out and gives you this work to do, and he's kind of a jerk, and finally he leaves, and then there's this guy not working, and then there's these two guys who are just... This was a waste of time. It was an agonizing 58 seconds before we ever got to what we had to show you, which was really fun stuff with 250,000 sticky notes. And if... Where are we?
It did well.
Right.
It got a few million views, but we always had the feeling that it could be more. So what got in the way? Story got in the way. Surprisingly, shockingly, in viral video, story is a waste of time. As we've just heard, and as you all know, advertisers, filmmakers, we're used to thinking of everything as a story because stories are this powerful tool for grabbing and holding people's attention. But in viral video, it's a waste of time. Viral video is the 21st century sideshow. It's all about a quick setup and a big payoff. So if you have a sword swallower, show her swallowing swords. Don't tell us her life story.
Good things happen when you focus on setup and payoff. A few years ago, someone posted a bootlegged copy of our sticky note video, posted it online, and edited out the first part. They edited out all that story. Someone from Azerbaijan. And this version got over 6 million views in just a month. And if you look at the top shared videos on YouTube, they're not telling stories. They're music videos, novelty songs, crazy dances, a kid biting his brother's finger, or a panda sneezing. Unlike so many other forms of communication where story is really important, this is 21st century sideshow. This is modern vaudeville, so as tempting as it is to turn everything into a story, to create contagious content that people want to share, don't do it. Just show us what you've got.
And just like a sideshow act, every viral video has a hook, something that provokes that reaction. I've never seen that before. And that brings us to rule number 3, be unforgettable. Your goal is to create something that would have a great carnival barker's pitch. So step right up, watch a baby monkey riding backwards on a pig. We weren't making that up. See what happens when you put an iPhone in a blender. Watch Jean-Claude Van Damme do an epic split between 2 moving trucks. Or see tiny hamsters eating tiny burritos. It makes me very happy. And none of these videos are telling stories, but every single one of them has a great, unforgettable hook to pull you in.
What you're shooting for is something no one's ever seen before. So how do you get that? Well, our key strategy is to start with something different, do something different, and then take it further than anyone else ever has. So a Coke Mentos geyser is a lot of fun. It's different. It's fun. If you've never done it, you should totally do it this weekend. It's a lot of fun. But it was 100 of them, choreographed to music in the woods of Maine that became something so unforgettable that it went viral all over the world. What you want to do is take whatever it is you're working on and work at it, keep at it, explore it until you own it.
So OK Go owned dancing on treadmills in their classic Here It Goes Again. Cleary and Harding owned Dancing with Their Hands in We No Speak Americano. Both of these videos took a simple idea and pushed it until it became something no one had seen before. And as a result, got millions of people telling their friends, oh my God, you've got to see this. Now, not every video has the budget for Jean-Claude Van Damme or something crazy huge. But for instance, for 19 Dope Ways to Lace Your Shoes, all it took was a whole lot of hours with a whole lot of shoes, coming up with as many different ways as we possibly could of lacing your shoes up in some weird way.
So people have often come up to us and said, you know what my favorite moment in your videos is? So we're thinking, is it when all those geysers go off all at once? Is it when 40,000 sticky notes fall from the ceiling in this giant colored paper waterfall? Is it maybe Fritz shooting down the Oxford Plains Speedway on a Coke and Mentos powered rocket car? No. Is it any of those effects that we spend months developing? Nope. Those are all important. Those are our hooks. Pretty much everyone's favorite moment is just at the end when we do this. Right there. Because when we celebrate whatever absurd accomplishment we've just done, when we celebrate there together in that authentic moment, the audience gets to join in that moment with us, and we kind of celebrate together. We're convinced that including that moment of authentic celebration in all of our videos has been key to their success. Because neuroscientists have found that emotion itself is contagious. So when you see us celebrating like that, you actually feel a little of what we feel. And that's the emotional connection that starts to make things contagious. So when you guys are doing your work, include one moment of real human connection. Include your moments of triumph so that we can have something emotional to connect to.
From JK Wedding entrance dance to Felix Baumgartner jumping from a tiny capsule at the edge of space. There's that arms up. Wait for it. There's some more. From Chewbacca Mom laughing uncontrollably to surprising drunk girls with puppies and 19 Dope Ways to Lace Your Shoes. All these videos show us images of real people and real emotion. And that raw humanity creates the active, positive emotion that makes us want to share that experience with our friends. So the bottom line is this. Creating contagious content is about connecting with people.
And the ways to do that haven't changed for thousands of years. Be honest in what you do. Don't waste time. Show us something we've never seen before. And let us see who you really are.
Now, to help you all do this, we created the Viral Video Toolkit for Nonprofits, an 80-page guide, step-by-step look at the entire process. And thanks to support from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, it's available now online. If you go to EepyBird.com/toolkit, EepyBird, EepyBird.com/toolkit, you can download that today. So the tools are in your hands. Go out and capture moments of simple, unforgettable humanity.
Go out and start your own healthy epidemics.
Thank you. Do we have time for some questions? Awesome.
And we have time for a couple questions, if anybody has a question. I see one back there. I'll be right back to you.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much. I'm Jeremy Smith from Indianapolis, and I work for the Richard M. Fairbanks Foundation. My question is, so we're looking to tackle pretty big issues like education inequity, reducing tobacco use, addressing the opioid epidemic. Mm-hmm. Can viral video be used to sort of make a dent in some of these larger issues?
Yeah, I think that was what we've started to dig into with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is what viral video. It's all well and good when you're just messing around and dropping Mentos into bottles of Coke, but yeah, how can it carry real import? So, for example, with the National Association of School Nurses, it was about finding a way into active, positive emotion, and for some very serious issues, that can be really tough. One of the classic examples, though, is Dumb Ways to Die, which took the very dry topic of train safety. And they made this bizarre animated short with a novelty song about all the dumb ways you could die. And right there near the end, playing on the train tracks. And so they found, and that got 40 million views. There was an app. There was all these spin-offs. It was incredible. That was an amazing way to take something I think most of us would consider dry and serious and find a really interesting take on it.
One of the things that generalize what viral video does in the business world, and we're finding is that we're being able to do in nonprofit world as well, is that you have your fun moment, you have your emotional connection and your fun, crazy, unforgettable thing, and that can carry a message. And it has to carry a message as a secondary feature of the video, but it can really be effective in carrying that message. So when you've got people smiling and laughing and saying, "Oh my God, this is really fun," that's when you can bring your message in. You also probably want to have your message embedded in whatever it is your content is. So we've got shoelaces for Girl Trek and school supplies and school nurses for the school nurses video. But you can have your spectacle and attach to that a message that will, when people are really receptive, is right there when they're having that emotional moment. So there's a lot of opportunity there. That's what and we're hoping to actually explore more of that with some more work with the foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, the
Awesome.
goal is, can we do behavior change? Can we get viral video to get people to change their behavior and be healthier and better? And that's really what we're looking to do long term.
So we'll be around all day. Come say hi.
Yeah, please come ask us your questions, and we don't have time for it today, so we'll be here all day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. That's great. Thanks, Fritz and Stephen. And